Hi, my beautiful tribe. So this is just going to be a quick part 2 and follow up of the video about being the cycle breaker and the first and or only awakened one in your family. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what inspired that video and share more of some of my recent experiences that really played into the things that I wanted to talk about in that previous video. So if you watch this and feel like you need a little bit more context, you want to probably check out that first video. But I want to go ahead and just jump right into it. So what inspired this video was this recent trip that I went on to go stay with my gram for a few days. We are really close, but I have really taken a lot of time and separation from family. And it's really helped with my wholeness. It was something that I needed. And really now, for a while, I have just been in this place of ease and homecoming and just really embodying my truth and not having to try so hard to protect my peace. I just feel like I really have complete and total ownership of my power. And it wasn't always like that, but fortunately, and I'm so grateful for it, but I have been in this place for a while now. But that said, I really haven't spent much time with family. And many of my family members I probably will never spend time with again. And while I absolutely went through a time of, some grief over that, I healed it. And the thing is what I got was myself. What I gained was my peace and wholeness. And there is nothing that I wouldn't change. And I think it's important too, because I talk about manifestation so much as well. And something that I really believe in when it comes to manifestation is making room. And you kind of have to give something to gain something, right? And the thing is usually what we have to give are people, places, and things that do not serve our highest and greatest good, or, and equally as important, are not a vibrational match to our manifestations, our true desires in our heart, the love, the abundance, the health, the wealth, everything that it is that we want. If there are toxic cycles and people, places, and things that are taking up all of the room in our life and in our energy, it's pretty hard to make yourself the right point of attraction and embody the law of attraction so that those things can come in, right? So I've never had a happy family, and it's something that I have always wanted. And so again, those were certain sacrifices that I knew that I had to make, and because of how it was not only affecting my energy, but just every single one of my bodies, my spiritual body, my mental body, my emotional body, all of those things. And so I, again, had to learn that difficult lesson of choosing myself. And also being an empath, one of our difficult lessons in this life is that we have to learn boundaries and we have to learn to choose ourselves. And so I've said no to most things that are family related. And again, I have felt so empowered in doing so. It's kind of like that feeling when you break up with someone and you actually feel relief rather than heartbreak. It really lets you know that you did the right thing. And I know that it's a little bit different and heavier with family. And so, of course, I went through some mourning, and definitely a long period of grief. But again, what I gained was my peace and wholeness. And now what I feel like is me being in my power and taking such ownership of it and allowing all of this beautiful energy to come in and bring me my chosen soul tribe, right? Which is your chosen family. And you absolutely get blessed with that, because spirit is not going to leave you hanging when you have done the difficult thing and broken those toxic cycles and broken away from toxic family, right? You get it replaced, source replaces those things. But what's beautiful about it is it's replaced with what is now an energetic and a vibrational match to you, and the you that is now whole and embodying your truth. And it actually brings in others like that. And it was really cool, because even being at the airport and even people that I was sitting by on the airplane were all people that I ended up talking about the law of attraction with and spirituality with. And so it's in those moments that it is just such beautiful and such cool proof to experience, right? So going back to my grams, again, I went on my own terms. I just went on my own, and where I knew it would be just her and I, and the few family members that I don't feel try to take from me and try to trigger me and really induce any of those old triggers that I have just released for a while now. But it was so cool to experience this new me kind of in that family environment, because I was so different and I just remained in my power the whole time and without even trying. At that point, it's just become so natural, so organic for me. And all this time that I have spent, recreating myself and then just embodying my truth and honoring my truth is now something that I got to experience, even being in an old environment. So when I was with my gram, for instance, when she would talk about family, or, when different things would come up, because of course she just wants everyone to be close, and comes from a time where family is family and you just deal with whatever. But those times are changing, right? And again, it's about being the cycle breaker, that you don't have to live that way. But in the past, I would have felt like I had to defend myself, that I had to explain myself and convince. And this time I just felt triggered in no way, shape, or form. And I just listened, and I didn't feel like I needed to control anything, or I didn't feel like I needed to be heard or seen. There was just no part of me that felt like I was in lack, and my peace never left me. And then therefore the peace never left, the conversation, or even the whole time I was there. Like, nothing about my reality while I was there was not peaceful, or where I didn't feel whole, and where I didn't feel completely abundant. And it just even made it easy to talk about whatever she wanted to talk about, because I didn't feel lacking in any way, shape, or form. I didn't feel triggered in any way, shape, or form. And even with, my cousins or my uncle, there's a time in the past where I would have been really, I think, stuck on the pain that I experienced in my family, that I would have missed out on some of the love that was being given to me. So while I was there, my uncle even said, I really missed you. I'm so glad you're here. I just love you so much. And I think in the past, again, my triggers from being around family would have taken away that experience for me. Whereas this time, again, I was just really experiencing the new me. Again, not that I needed to, but it was really nice to have that experience around family. And I saw how much I was in receiving mode, and it was so easy for me to receive that love that he was giving me, right? And same with my gram, and I just listened. I was in flow. And even like playing with my little cousins, I was like, this is a perfect time to let my inner child out again and learn from them. And I was so present with them, and we played games, and they taught me things. Kids are amazing in that way. They're so fearless, and they don't try to control, and they don't get triggered, and all of these different things. That it is why being around kids, if you're able to, is such a beautiful experience. And when you're present with them, you can learn so much from them too. And also our inner children, they absolutely love it. I mean, it works absolute wonders. And so again, it was just such a beautiful experience for me, because I haven't really been around any family in a long time, and going on my own terms. And it was just so easy for me to stay in my power. And I had the most amazing conversations and quality time with the people in my family who deserve it, and who don't take from me or try to take from me, and who are not living in toxic cycles and behaviors and patterns. And, I didn't try to control it. I just went with the flow. I didn't have to, because I'm so whole now. And I was in such ownership of my power. And so I was just able to receive. I was able to just listen without being triggered or being attached to any moments where in the past I might have felt the need to defend myself. And, I was able to even be more present than I ever have as well. And so that's really what inspired this. It was easy for me now in my wholeness, in this best version of myself so far, because I'm never done growing, that I was really able to enjoy being the awakened one and the enlightened one in my family. And again, not from a place of burden, but from a place of blessing. And so that's why I really wanted to share that with y'all, and what inspired that video. And what I want you to know is so possible for you as well. And that you can make things on your own terms as well, particularly when it comes to family. And it doesn't have to be this weight and this darkness that you carry. Again, it's meant to be released. And it's meant for you to be the chosen one, a cycle breaker, and then to embody this truth, and then meant for your peace to be your protest and for your healing to be your rebellion, and to take whatever time you need to get away from the dysfunction and the chaos, and then make up your own rules, whatever works best for you, and then come back, whether that be with one or two family members or however it works out for you. All you have to do is take care of yourself and your healing and step into your wholeness and take complete ownership of your power. Because again, when you are really in your power, you don't feel the need to really react, and everything just kind of works itself out, and the answers will come. They'll all just show up when the time is right, and you actually don't have to control or force anything. You just have to know that you are so worthy of your wholeness, and that you are so worthy of love, and again, making up your own rules and going with the flow and allowing your happiness and not controlling anything. Just take what time you need, heal, come back as the best version of you, and the answers will be there for you when you're ready. And that includes your family relationships, and also the you that you will get to enjoy and the freedom on this other end. There's just really no words to it, and I think the best things are not really meant to be explained. I mean, we can try like I do in these videos, right? But it's something you deserve to experience for yourself. So as always, I am rooting for you. I am pulling for you always. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, and I can't wait to see what you do.